Over the last few days, Democratic presidential candidate Pete Buttigieg was involved in some really strange exchanges, and most of them have to do with money in politics, campaign finance, transparency, and it does not look good for Mayor Pete. The first one is at a press conference before or after an event, and he's asked about why won't you open up fundraisers to the press? He's very curt, and he says he doesn't have a timeline for when he's going to consider doing that. He's then asked to follow up, well, you're the candidate. Can't you just tell your campaign to open them up to the press? And Mayor Pete says, yes, but there are considerations. And then he's asked as another follow up, what are the considerations? And he says, I'm not going to tell you. Take a look at this.
Mayor, earlier today you said you were open to having a conversation about opening your fundraisers. And that's a question that reporters have been asking for months now. So I'm wondering, when do you expect to actually have that conversation and give like an answer on that?
Again, I don't have a timeline for you.
Well, Mayor, as the candidate, can't you just direct your campaign to open those fundraisers?
What's it?
As the candidate, can't you just direct your campaign to open those fundraisers?
Yes.
And why haven't you done so?
What's that?
Why haven't you done so yet?
There are a lot of considerations, and I'm thinking about it.
Last question.
Can you give us an example of those considerations?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night, Mayor.
Thanks. Thank you.
Is this a strategy of some kind? Because it comes off looking absolutely terrible. Doing closed to the press events, I don't actually think is problematic in principle. It's actually a good thing for elected officials and candidates to be able to talk to voters privately without the press there. I think that that's generally speaking a good thing, but in some instances. But when it's big money fundraisers and there's already slipperiness coming from Pete about campaign finance, and then this is how he answers the questions, it doesn't look good. Here's another video where a student activist named Greg Chung asks Pete Buttigieg, when we talk about getting money out of politics, shouldn't that include not taking money from billionaires and doing closed door fundraisers? And Pete just says, no, that's not what getting money out of politics should include. I know the audio is not great on this one. The video is subtitled. Apologies for people who are just listening. I know that it may be hard to understand everything that's said. I saw comments about this saying, oh, this is totally tone deaf. It's not that it's tone deaf. It's that this is Pete Buttigieg telling us what he really believes. He doesn't want to stop billionaire donations or private fundraisers because he's a centrist status quo guy, period. The bar for transparency, particularly on this issue of money in politics, has definitely changed in the last few years, with more and more candidates saying they won't accept corporate PAC money or money from corporations at all or whatever. Pete Buttigieg and Joe Biden are just behind on this. They are completely out of touch with what is expected now on the progressive left. What I do think is good is that in the same way that Joe Biden isn't pretending to be a super progressive, he's running as a centrist, and he is a centrist. Pete Buttigieg is doing the same thing, although to a lesser degree. Yes, Pete is being slippery on Medicare for all with this Medicare for all who want it thing. But on lots of these issues, I'm glad that Biden is just telling it to us like it is, and Pete is telling it to us like it is in their policy. I disagree with them. I am well to their left. But one of the things that's really good is with some candidates, you get this sense that they're not really telling us what they actually believe. This was asserted about Hillary Clinton in 2016, that everything was just what she thought would sound best at the time. This has been asserted with other candidates as well. With Mayor Pete and Joe Biden, they seem to be centrists. Their policies are centrist policies. They are telling us that in public. They're not hiding behind it. And I like it because it makes it much easier for me to figure out both of these guys are well to my right. They are not the people that I would consider supporting in a primary. He's being upfront. It's fine for him to say this, but we need to do away with the false notion that Buttigieg is any kind of progressive, period. And he's making that a very easy notion to do away with every time he says something like this. Make sure you're following The David Pakman Show on Instagram at David Pakman Show. Increasingly, a very popular place to watch our videos. And while you're there, follow me at david.pakman. We'll take a quick break and be back with so much more right after this. One of our sponsors is privacy.com. They're giving you $5 when you sign up for their completely free service at privacy.com/Pakman. I've been using Privacy for a little over a year now. You've heard me talk about it before. It's a lifesaver, and here's how it works. Takes just a couple of minutes to set up. Anytime you buy something online or on the phone, instead of actually using your real credit card number, the privacy app and the browser plugin let you give each company a randomized virtual credit card number that you create out of thin air. It'll even autofill the card number with one click. And the payment is taken out of your checking account without the merchant ever knowing your real information. So this allows you to keep your banking information secure, but also to take control of your finances. You can create up to 12 of these virtual credit cards a month. You can set spending limits. You can freeze them. You can delete them anytime you want. So when you do this, it means you're not going to be charged when you don't want to be, because you can destroy the virtual card number right after using it, which, for instance, I love using free trials because I know I won't be charged when the trial is over if I use a virtual credit card number. You're keeping your identity private by not telling companies who you are. You're keeping your bank or credit card info protected against data breaches and identity theft, and it's free. There's no catch whatsoever. But if you want, Privacy also offers a $10 a month plan that gives you 1% cash back and lets you create 36 credit cards a month, and a $25 a month plan tailored more for small businesses where you can create 60 card numbers a month and much more. But definitely go ahead and at least get started with the free plan. You'll protect your financial info. Companies can't charge you unexpectedly. And like I said, you'll get $5 to spend when you sign up at privacy.com/Pakman.